Addiction is often seen as crime, weakness, or failure. But behind every statistic is a human story of trauma, pain, relapse, resilience, and hope. For over 30 years, Sóilse, the HSE's addiction recovery programme in Dublin's North Inner City, has supported people to rebuild their lives and challenge the stigma surrounding addiction through part of several modules including adult education, drama and art. Participants find new ways to use their creativity, to express their experiences and to move forward in their recovery. This documentary was made over 5 days during the summer of 2024. It is their story, told through an immersive play they created and performed themselves. It is raw and unfiltered, a window into struggles we rarely face, and the hope we often overlook. And it asks us not to just see addiction, but the people behind it. Because recovery is possible. Because every story matters.
All right, lads. How's it going? All right. Use the streets. So you got to stop here. Yeah.
That's what it does to you.
Thinking was superior to me.
The woman, the silence, to the window. You let go of all the drugs now.
Exactly, you know. Yeah, we used to be.
Sóilse was started back in 1992. It was established by Jerry McAleenan. At the time, I suppose the backdrop was that there was a heroin epidemic in Dublin. The main response was a medical response, mainly methadone clinics. Sóilse was there for people that wanted recovery and to be drug-free. So Sóilse was set up as an abstinence-based programme. There was lots of feedback at the time by various stakeholders, community activists. What did the people need at that time? I suppose today, recovery is in every community. Every community in Dublin now, you'll see 12-step meetings. You'll see people that are in recovery. You know, they're nearly like role models for other people. So if there's people in active addiction, they'll always know someone now that's in recovery. That'll show them the path. That maybe wasn't available, say, over 30 years ago. It's available now. Recovery, as Jerry used to say, recovery is contagious.
So I'm working in the area of addictions now for 30 years. And as long as I've been working in the North Inner City, Sóilse always existed. So in the early days, we were very much focused on trying to expand the methadone program, particularly in relation to the HIV epidemic, which had such a major impact on the young people living in the North Inner City. But then over the years, it became more integrated, where there was referral pathways, and we would refer people into Sóilse and to Jerry at the time. And then we would put treatment plans in place around people doing residential detox, preparing for them in Sóilse, and then coming back and doing the recovery program.
Yeah, Jerry McAleenan started a program, always pushing education for people. He was a big supporter of drama. Drama has been central to the program. I would work with people here, maybe when they start, they mightn't open their mouth in groups, you know, their self-esteem, their confidence on the ground. Then I see them in drama pieces like that immersive piece. It's unbelievable what, I suppose, Tomo, the drama facilitator, can help them do, and it really lifts their confidence.
When I started off here, I had a vision. And my vision was, okay, I'll start working here and I'll start giving these guys something. My own expectations became more and more because I seen the participation that the guys took part in, and people started to take risks. And a couple of years ago, I had this idea of an immersive show in my mind, but it was like a comic book in my head, and I could see the scenes, what I wanted, the people, the storylines. The different parts came about by watching in the kitchen. So I'm auditioning in my head, in the kitchen, having a cup of tea. Jesus, he'd be a good demo.
How are you doing, Damo?
Hey, Damo.
How are you?
Damo.
Yeah, what are you all doing here anyway? Are you going to Sóilse, right? Yeah, right, come on with me and I'll tell you about my dilemma, come on. I play with that every day. Every time I take something, it's like loading the gun one more time. It's like Russian roulette. Well, not always like that though. It used to be a box up back in the day. When I was a lad, just 18, I had my whole career ahead of me. I was going to be going pro. The great hopes for me. Sparring one day in the gym with my mate Johnny Twinklecoast. Practicing a few combos. And then my back went. So I went down to the doctor. He says, Damien, you're not going to be able to step near the ring for 6 weeks. 6 fucking weeks. I was 1 week out in the biggest fight in my life. So he gave me a load of painkillers, few Valium to relax the muscle in the back. I double dosed. 2 days out in the fight again, I was right as rain, ready to go. This was it. It was my chance. So the night of the fight, walking into the stadium, the buzz was electric. They were all there to see Damo the dancer. Damo! 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 I was walking into the ring, the smell of testosterone. Oh, it just got me. So I looked at my opponent. He looked a bit nervous. Skinny Cuban fella. First few rounds. They're just sussing each other out. But you see, boxing's like a game of chess. You're always thinking a couple of moves ahead. I was up on the scorecards, and I knew he hadn't got the power to knock me out, so I took my chance. Ah! And I went again. Match was called off, and that was it. More painkillers, more Valium. That was the demise right through my addiction. Next 12 years after that was a blow. Then 3 years ago I got clean. I managed to stay clean for 1 year then. Then I relapsed. Now when you relapse, no one wants to know you. You're like a leper. On your own on this, you are. Not that being riddled with guilt and shame isn't bad enough. But you know what? I'm going to the doctor. Handing in all these tablets, telling them that's it, I'm done. Then I'm going to Sóilse and I'm going to get a bit of help. I know I can do this, you see, because I'm a fighter. Come on.
The subject that addiction is a chronic relapsing condition, a lot of people don't talk about it in that way. They feel that addiction is linear, that you become addicted to a substance or a behaviour, you go into treatment, you get cured, you're better, and you actually are finished and you're out the door type of thing. Whereas I think for us who work in the area of addiction, we understand it to be circular, and people do well at sometimes, and maybe, you know, they have a relapse. So I think they dealt very well with the issues of relapse and how that is very difficult for people, particularly when they want to re-engage with treatment, and the shame and the stigma attached with relapse.
One of the things I suppose we believe here, that we're trying to plant a seed, you know, that if someone does relapse, that they know where they can return to, you know, they know they can return here. The door is always open for people. We've never closed the door on people, but there has to be willingness there, and there has to be, I suppose people have to put that work in. So if people come back to us and they have relapsed, I suppose we'll review, okay, what happened? How did the relapse happen? Maybe we're missing something here, and go, right, what do we need to do now, and make a plan. So relapse isn't the end of the road. For some people, like obviously we don't encourage it, but it could be the start of something really, really good for people, you know, in recovery.
People in recovery who are clean, have a bit of clean time, have to disengage to protect themselves. Because obviously, if somebody is in the relapse, they're in it, they're in the disease, they're in the mode of using, and if you're clean, you're very vulnerable to that, you're susceptible to that. And people can just totally disengage from you. And it's sort of like people have to actively seek the recovery and seek to help themselves again. Oh, Jesus, here's another blast in the past. Look at her. Chrissy! Come over to her for a minute, I want to talk to her.
Right.
What's the story?
And you've got a light? Yeah. Thanks,
Alright,
Damo.
How are you, Max?
How are you keeping
How are
it?
you?
Oh, I'll keep that. Do you have a light?
Yeah. What's the story? What's happening?
I'm just out of prison.
Again?
Yeah.
Ah, stop. Well, when did you get out?
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah? And you're back here again?
Yeah.
No way.
3 times this year. I'm paying me bollocks back in the street again.
Yeah. What's the story? I'm going down to Sóilse. Why don't you go down with Max?
I'm not going down, not today.
Why?
Tomorrow.
Busy?
Get a few quid. Don't get a few quid in a day.
No, do you know what? I mean, I have to go, right? And anyway, right, go on and see you later.
Before you go, Damo, give me a smoke, will you?
Right, come on, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
What are you doing? No. Not ready yet, Max. Why? No, it's not ready. I'll go down tomorrow. I'm gonna get a few quid, get me head together. You know what I mean? My head's mangled. Alright.
Come up and get you tomorrow. You'll be here tomorrow, yeah?
Bring it up in a Sambo.
I will, yeah.
Right, nice.
I will.
Thanks, right. One of you help us up.
The women who end up in prison are the most vulnerable of all women. They invariably have both mental health and drug issues, and they are very, very vulnerable. And it is a revolving door, you know. Now, every now and then somebody comes off with that, which is great.
It helped me so much to realise what I was when I was on the streets, because I was homeless, tapping on the street. Now, I was sad for her. That's how I connected with it. But it was a privilege to play what I was, to get to look at myself.
Over the last number of years, we've definitely had an increase of women accessing the service. We try and prioritise women because all the research shows that there's huge obstacles to women entering recovery.
Do you think that I wanted to become addicted? When I took a drug in my first joint, that I thought, well, I'll spiral through hell and set up on my lowest point. Is that what you think? Behind your masks, I see it in your eyes, it's in your tone, it's in your sneer. Why am I all you despise? I was 16 out dancing, all the girls together passing it round to tequila slammers. The only point of drinking is to stop your worry thinking and to get speedily totally hammered. Giving it loads on the dance floor and glanced at me more, each one of us girls allowed. And then I saw his pimply complexion and unwashed perfection stand out from the crowd. He was gorgeous. Well, not quite gorgeous. He was wearing a nice shirt and he said I was lovely. Actually, he caught me a bit of a cock teasing, bit of a flirt. He was 23, handed me his rollie and said, have a toke on this. Then he kissed me, slipped me an ecstasy. Then I was truly his. Fucked up with abandon, no thought for a condom, we headed straight back to his ma's. We tried for admissions, but no matter how many positions, he wasn't able to come. I should have known then. He said if I told anyone he'd break me in three. Then he turned away, tucked in the duvet. Said he took 2 sugars in his tea.
It ended soon after, pregnant, 3rd trimester. Said for him, I'd grown far too fat. He said, he's no sucker, that I'm a gold digging fucker. He said, I'm not related to that. Carried on my own, 6 pounds 4 coming home. A bundle of love just for me. Clean and sober, I breastfed. But demons filled my head. Baby blues took my sanity. It wasn't just the baby. Everything had gone crazy. And I was forced into living back home. It's hard for new mothers, needing help from others. Social workers said I couldn't live alone. So we're all stuffed together, knackered birds of a feather, in a 3-bedroom terraced house. And when my dad's been drinking, coming home stinking, I have to keep baby quiet as a mouse. With one thing or another, he'll still bully my brother, saying you're nothing but a queer. And after threatening violence, follows uncomfortable silence as he cracks open another beer. He's a sadistic little prick who has the whole house rolled with a drunken fist. It's bad on weekdays, it's worse on weekends. He's ferocious when he's pissed. Enough of this dwelling. I'm not just telling you all my David Copperfield kind of crap. Let's just say my childhood was a convoluted, catastrophic joke of a very sad mishap. The thoughts wreck my head, fill me with dread, and often lead to dangerous benders. I'd be running out of town if I wrote this all down. Story's even too strong for EastEnders.
I met Desla Best in the Fiddler's Rest on the night of my 21st. He was the love of my life, I thought I'd be his wife, but from the start, our love was cursed. We boogied and screwed and laughed our way through kilos of cocaine. Though the high was fuel, the come down was cruel. Needed heroin to settle our brain. I'd had speckles of peace in my life, once or twice, but never a bliss like this. Every ache, every pain wandered away and the world was in Dazzler's kiss. The day was a wonderful, wondrous calm, like a boat on the sea in the sun. And as I turned gold and brown and the sun sunk down, my nose first started to run. As the dragon takes over, this easy pushover unexpectedly craves your attention. As you shiver and beg, gently turns its head and lets the smoke craft a solution. Then, with a furious blast, withdraws love, and once again you are cast into a fiery hell, Until acquisitions, you feel forced to press pause on the clinic doorbell.
Don't get me wrong, but for them I'd be gone to a grave somewhere all alone. It's just not on so many days I crave a life far away from this role as a methadone clone. And Dazzler, my gem, by forced among men, spent many months in prison custody. Till temporary released, life abruptly ceased. I found him dead in the bed beside me. And they thought I'd injected, so the doctor suggested putting me up on my methadone. And she prescribed me Xanax, Valium and Librium because one won't work on its own. And it tasted so lovely, it prescribed bittersweet honey that I ended up buying a ton. My body slurged upright, a zombie chick delight. My mind uncomfortably numb.
They took my baby away. Said I could see her 1 out of every 14 supervised. I couldn't keep going. My heart was broken from the hurt I'd seen in her eyes. But of course, I bumped into Johnny, a rotten fucker from Inchicore. To be realistic, his most attractive characteristic was he always knew where to get more.
In no time at all, the drugs had us up to our eyes, and he quickly put me on the game. And as I said before, no need to say more, doing that won't leave you the same. The guilt and the pain, the fear and the shame, turned everything into a blur. He said he loved me so deeply, yeah, he sold me so cheaply. Very soon he only called me a whore. It took me ages to leave him. Why? Am I that dim? Our last fight was really bad and my brother Johnny was there and he called him a queer and I finally saw he was just like me dad.
I threw him out on his jack and he's not coming back. He must have read the look in me face. I'm in a nice B&B now near the Regina Kyle. Someday soon I hope I'll have my own place.
I'm not telling you this for your pity, your sympathy, your money, your advice. I just want you to know that as some stories go, they don't all start and finish up nice. Sometimes you're dealt a hand that's far from dreamland with no avenue for appeal. Though you thought that we're equal, I'll have to wait for a sequel. We don't all start in level playing fields.
In the piece that myself and the 2 other girls performed, we are trying to show where addiction really brings you. From losing your children to losing yourself and doing stuff that you wouldn't normally do. You know, and at the end of the day, it's sad, but there is a way out, there's recovery. It was gut-wrenching when she spoke about losing her kids, and that hasn't happened to me, but I felt it, you know, in the pit of my stomach. And something just shot up through me and I had to just shut it down because I would have cried in the performance. That's how strong it got to me.
There could be a lot more stigma for a woman coming into recovery. There's fear, particularly if they're a mother, they have kids, they're worried about maybe social services getting involved. There's that huge stigma for women. I'd advocate strongly for women regarding trying to access their children and trying to work towards reunification because it can happen. I suppose with the right interventions, the right housing, the right supports, that reunification can happen.
I hope that people can understand that people who are in addiction, they're in pain, they're hurt and they've trauma.
And you know how to fix radios. Take that from me, will you? Did you see a fella when you was coming in? In a failure tracksuit. Now in the old school ones from back in the day. John. I keep saying him. It's like he's there and then it's like he's not there, or like a ghost. It's like deja vu. Oh, me mind. John. John. Let me tell you about John. We used to hang around together when we were kids and back in the day, and we used to box together and all. And he went his way and I went mine, and the drugs started, and the harder drugs, and John went bad. His mind started playing with him. He started getting delusions, and he couldn't separate reality from what was real and what wasn't. Truth from lies. Started off very subtle. You know, like thinking the radio was listening to him, or the television was watching him. But then it got darker. Very dark. His mind started telling him lies. Started convincing him. Convinced him he was molesting his own daughter. Imagine that. Like, what the fuck? But I guess if you're taking crystal meth and crack 24/7, that's what it'll do to your mind. It's like an elastic band. It's pulling and bending and stretching reality. You know? Then John's mind just broke. What am I doing? Oh. I'm okay. John, bro. John, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can. I'm worried. I had them tablets in. I made the right decision. Didn't I?
Fill them out and bring them back to me as quickly as you can, right?
Thanks, Mike.
So one of the things that was interesting was the idea that there was a sound coming from somewhere, and where was it coming from, and was it coming from the radio? It turned out it was coming from the phone. But this idea of hearing messages or having messages broadcast to someone, or that maybe there is something on the radio or the television that's meant for that person specifically and has a special message for them and means something, it causes a lot of distress, is something we can see in psychosis, and it's something I've certainly seen frequently.
It was hard hitting and very raw for me because it touched on an awful lot of issues that were very personal to me, about the psychosis, the relapse, seeking recovery, and also suicide, which hit home for me personally. About my own suicidal ideation through addiction, and also experiencing losing people through suicide, through active addiction also. Very hard-hitting issues, and to see the impact that it had on people. It had a major amount of impact on me, to see that other people were feeling what I was feeling. And the feedback that I was getting was that it was hard-hitting for them also. But I guess if you're taking crystal meth and crack 24/7, that's what it'll do to your mind.
So crack cocaine, like many drugs, will have untold consequences to the brain and the body potentially. So if we just take the physical effects, so it can affect almost every organ in the body. It can affect the heart by causing heart attacks, irregular heartbeats. It can affect the lungs by causing inflammation, chronic use especially causing a thing called cracked lung, which is a very severe form of pneumonia. It can also affect the kidneys and the liver, and also it can cause stroke. I suppose as a psychiatrist, often I come across the mental health impact, and it can cause significant mental impact on a person's mood and their emotions. Frequently we'll see a lot of anxiety and restlessness and impaired impulse control. And also, I suppose, in terms of the psychosis, which is, I suppose, what the scenes we're alluding to, we'll see things like delusions, which are fixed beliefs that someone will have, which are untrue, and despite best efforts, you're unable to reason with the person about them. And that might be things like paranoid ideas that someone's after them. It might be that they have special powers. It could be a host of things. Everyone's experience will be different. And also then you can sometimes have hallucinations, and these typically are auditory, or the person hears voices or sounds, and also the person might see things or smell things or feel things that aren't real. When someone is very, very unwell, the option of sitting and providing some support and just watching the person and keeping them safe, that's probably the most important thing, and getting them into services quickly. It's just about keeping the patient safe in the first instance, I'd say.
I don't know why I keep buying these newspapers. I'm reading the same thing in it, week after week. Kids and families get destroyed by drugs. And I can relate to that. Because my daughter changed when she started smoking weed.
I believe I was an addict long before I picked up drugs. I started smoking weed when I was around 14. Became addicted not long after that.
She did suffer with anxiety from a young age. But let me tell you, the cannabis heightened it.
I was so paranoid that I had to walk the long way home, convinced that everybody was out to get me. I'd completely isolated myself away from the world.
So she threatened by years to kill herself when I confronted her about her cannabis use. So she'd say things to me like, "You'll see and you'll be sorry, Dad, when I kill myself."
I had no compassion for others, no self-respect. Sure, I didn't care about anything at all. By the time I was 16, my behaviours were off the wall. I was aggressive and manipulative towards my family, and that was just to get drugs.
I'd love to get a message across to the kids that us parents are not the enemy, that we fight with you because we love you and are worried and frustrated.
I was utterly hopeless. I was depressed, and in the end I'd lost everything that made me who I was.
She was around 17 years of age. I can remember that day clearly. Walking in and seeing her. Her lifeless body hanging. But luckily, I was able to cut her down and revive her. But still, I blame myself ever since.
I don't know what it was about that day. Just the memories just was too much. The smell of his amber leaf rollies off his breath. I just couldn't cope with it anymore. Maybe it was just a cry for help. I had tried to stop, or at least control my using before, but the truth was, I was utterly powerless. So I decided to go to treatment. Look, I had no clue the severity that weed could have until I stopped using it. I honestly thought I was going to go out of my mind. But after a while, I opened my mind to a new way of life. I think that was enough to get me through the 12 weeks.
If I had known what was going on with her, I would have helped. Because what I seen is, the most important thing in our life became that next bag of weed.
I'm in a secondary treatment centre now, a day programme, and I'm learning new things about myself every day. I have the ability to cope with my emotions. And look, life isn't perfect, and it probably never will be. But that's just how this works.
Because as a society, should we letting on this isn't even happening? Addiction, it's everywhere. It's not just in council estates.
I have relationships back at my family. I have peace of mind. I enjoy the good days, and I know that the bad days will pass, but that picking up drugs is just not the answer. I'm just over 18 months sober, and I know that I can reach my full potential. But it's just one day at a time.
And let me tell you, that's the miracle. Because my daughter smoked weed every single day.
In Ireland, cannabis, or weed, has been linked with mental health problems, such as depression, anxiety, and schizophrenia. Regular use can affect memory, mood, motivation, and the ability to learn. Cannabis was the third most common main problem drug reported in Ireland in 2024. And among those aged 19 and under, cannabis was the main drug generating treatment demand. Unfortunately for some young people who smoke cannabis, they can build up drug debts, and in some cases this can bring stress, serious intimidation, violence, and financial ruin on their family.
There's definitely evidence that the strength of cannabis, particularly the synthetic cannabinoids, that they have significant effects on mental illness.
The drug trends have significantly changed now. We've a huge rise in cocaine, powder cocaine, crack cocaine, and also cannabis, alcohol. So Sóilse now, we work with all addictions. I find that the recovery model works with all addictions. I suppose it has brought different problems, definitely mental health.
So here, what are you saying you are? Some people say I'm an evil bastard that needs to be locked up. And do you think you're evil? It's like that fella in the meeting says. The one fella called you a horse, ignore him. Two people call you a horse, ignore them. Maybe one starts calling you a horse, you may as well get out by yourself a saddle.
Me, myself, personally, I think I'm evil. Or just a really bad fucker. I can't help the shit I do when I'm using. But seriously, do you think I'm mad that bad?
Who, me? I'd say I definitely am.
Jesus, that's what the two of us are, so two bleeding psychos.
So I'll never forget being in the drum. The Dundrum Mental Hospital. You can still smell that place. That rancid smell of stewed cabbage and carbolic soap. And the sickening screams that started from outside and ended up inside my head. Trapping me brain. So I didn't know whose thoughts I was thinking.
Sure, I remember seeing a poster on the wall one day for the Valentine's Day dance. Valentine's Day? The fuck? My legs were bleeding bits from the treatment. The worst thing was, they wouldn't let me ma in to see me. I remember seeing her outside, walking away in the rain. She was wearing her good coat, the one that she kept in the wardrobe. And I remember thinking, ma, don't go. And I wanted to scream, but it was the weirdest place. There was trapped fucking sound coming from inside my mind or my soul. I don't know where it was coming from. And I remember thinking, ma, don't go. If you go, I'll never be able to talk. If she doesn't hear me, she doesn't hear me screaming, she doesn't hear my voice, she'll go. But she was going, she was walking away in the rain. I remember thinking, ma, don't go. Don't leave me here on my own. If you go, I'll never be able to talk, ma. What did I do, ma? Was I bold? Will it be good, ma? Was I bold? Ah, ma, don't go.
Salted the ear, Joe Mother. So the psych fella in there, he told me that I had a hijacked brain. That was polluted from all the drugs that I took. And at the same time, he was writing out a script for more drugs. It's fucking gas, isn't it? Here I am in a psychiatric lockup for taking too many drugs. And they're giving me drugs to counteract the drugs. They had me all fucked up and left me in spasms. Didn't trust any of those guys. When I said it to them in there, do you know what they said? They told me to sit down, relax and take one off the tray. I didn't trust anybody in there. Should have told me this was a disease.
An illness.
A sickness.
A malady.
An affliction.
A condition.
A behaviour.
A problem.
A habit.
A voice.
A sin.
A crime.
Or some combination of all this. Thought I'd never get out of there.
Jesus, we're fucked.
So I was listening to a podcast thing the other day, and Lonergan was saying that many people in prison would have loads of personal issues, emotional issues, psychological issues, and mental issues, ADHD.
I was diagnosed with everything from schizophrenia to ASD. Get this, they said I had narcissistic personality disorder.
Very fucking posh, that. So the teacher was saying to me that given the demographic profile of the prison population, it is far more likely that they have been incarcerated due to issues surrounding social disadvantage and multiple and complex forms of social exclusion. It's not that at all, though. It's bleeding poverty.
That's what it is.
It's debt, it's ground, it's intimidation and threats and protection for your bleeding family. So what's keeping that bleeding doctor? Can't be around with him all day.
I was on that bleeding clinic for fucking years, man. And you can't say it didn't help you get out of a hole. But another way, it made sure that you never fucking get out of it. And you can't tell me your man wasn't looking down his fucking middle class nose at me every week, thinking he was superior to me. But you know what they say about addiction? And the same can be said about mental health issues as well. It's cunning, baffling, powerful, very, very patient.
Very true. It's this bleeding doctor. Will you hurry up, Luke? We're going to be late. The meeting starts at 8. And remember, you're doing the chair.
And here, what do you think they say you are?
You wouldn't believe the day I'm out of having. And what are they saying I am? A bleeding psycho like yous too. Oh, sorry, I didn't see yous there. Could you just step into the next room so I can get changed, please?
There's a huge correlation between addiction and ADHD, and the research is showing like the rates of ADHD or the prevalence will be much higher in populations where there's addiction. And for patients who are entering recovery, one service that we're really going to have to consider and scale up is our ADHD services and providing appropriate medication and psychosocial interventions for those people, because it may be that may have been the draw to drugs. So it's something that we're having to consider.
I think finding the proper medication for the person that's appropriate to them, I think is very, very important. And sometimes these may be lifelong. And I also think that we need to embrace the fact that some people may need medication for mental health issues, and that shouldn't exclude them from being in drug-free programs and being in recovery.
We've had a number of people that have been diagnosed with dyslexia later on in life, some people in their 40s and 50s, and their understanding of actually, that's why they were like that, that's why they struggled in school. They struggled with reading and writing, and they might have left school early due to dyslexia. That might have led it down a particular path regarding addiction, but they're getting that support now while they're in Sóilse, and us accessing other services for them.
I'd love to see this spread out. And it's not just to help the people who are doing the drama, but Jesus, to change the attitudes of the people who are watching. So today I brought a group of young doctors who are on this GP training scheme. And I know that's the best type of education I could give them about working with drug users. All the knowledge about the medicines, that's easy to learn. It's the attitudes that counts, the want to help, the desire, and the understanding of what it's like. That will transform their experience. So I think that will have a massive impact on their lives as doctors. And by impacting their lives as doctors, you're impacting on every single patient who uses drugs who comes in to see you.
The last piece, we see all the characters' journey in addiction.
Are you such a dreamer to put the world to rights? It's the devil's way now. There's no way out.
Between 2012 and 2021, 3,379 people in Ireland died from drug poisoning. A number nearly equal to approximately 3,500 killed during the Troubles in Northern Ireland over a 30-year period from the late 1960s to 1998.
Welcome everybody to the fellowship meeting. My name is Shaq, I'm an addict. And before I hand you over to Deco, the pause for a moment and reflect on why we're here. And the still think there's still some fanatic hooked inside and outside the room.
Thanks.
Oh yeah.
That chair is empty.
One more than all the clothes in here.
We are proud individual, living or the city, but the flame couldn't go much higher. We find God and religions to paint us with salvation, but nobody can give you the power to rise over love and over hate. Through this iron sky that's fast becoming our mind, over free earth and into freedom. Oh, that light left dripping down the wall of a dream that cannot breathe in its harsh reality. Mass confusion, spoon-fed to the blind, serves now to define our cold society from which we'll rise over love and over hate. Through this iron sky that's fast
not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed. The bitterness of men will fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die. And the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Let us use this power, let us all unite. And we'll rise, and hold my hand through this iron sky that's fast becoming all mine. Over freedom, into freedom, into freedom, from which we'll rise.
Running is ready, the step of things you cannot change, the courage to change the things you can, the wisdom of the difference. Keep coming back, the work you work it on, the jobs that work it, you're all working.
Good stuff. I thought I could never achieve anything, you know, only for what I was. Given a chance in Sóilse with the drama really brought me out of my comfort zone. And when I look back, the courage that we all had, you know, to get out of the comfort zone and share it with strangers and family. We can do what we put our mind to. We can, with a little bit of support and courage.
Coming from myself personally, like someone with very low self-worth and very low self-esteem because of all the shame and that I would have failed, and I think performing and this lifted that. Major healing experience for me.
I directed the piece, but the performers are the piece. They're the people that bring this alive, yeah? And each and every audience member that came to see this play, I thank you. I thank you because you made it what it was also. Because your emotion that you brought to it, your impact fed off the performers. And I watched it in every performance I was in. And it was great to see Melanie, Brian and Michelle, who are the driving force up in the HSE in Ballymun, and Noel, our manager, that believes in this work also, and all the staff, you know. So it's a collective.
I've known of Sóilse for quite a long time, known Noel for many years now. So I'm well aware of the work that's being done here, and I think it's fantastic because I don't think enough work is being done. You know, this should be all over the country, really. And I know the dedication and the time and energy and know-how that Noel and the whole team put into it. So it's great to see the theatre, the drama, becoming an important aspect of it. To see Tomo doing that, I'm inspired by it.
Anybody can get help, anybody, no matter what their background, no matter what their actions were, that they can get help and can find recovery. That was the whole idea of the play, to showcase this whole idea, to showcase Sóilse as a whole, to showcase recovery as a whole. That not once an addict, always an addict, not to be branded, that leopard never changed its spots, that a leopard can use them spots to shine through the world and can use them to help other people, you know.
They believed in me when I didn't, and they helped me grow, and they never turned their back on me when I had anything going on or coming up for me. And I'm very blessed that I got to come here, you know, and it holds a big place in my heart.
So my advice to anyone who might be going through or might relate to any of this is you'll be okay. Reach out and ask for help. You're not going to know unless you ask for help. There's plenty of help out there. One place I can highly recommend is Sóilse. And I don't say that lightly. Sóilse holds a huge part of my heart. I wouldn't be sitting here now if I didn't meet the people in Sóilse, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
The research shows that if somebody gets to 5 years completely drug-free, they've over a 90% chance of remaining abstinent for the rest of their lives. So if we can keep people engaged, Not on a daily basis, but even in that, in a community basis that they're attending here in the evenings or once a week, and they're staying linked in. If they get to that 5-year mark, at that point their recovery should sustain them, and they should live able to remain drug-free for the remainder of their life.
Do you think that I wanted to become addicted when I took a drag in my first joint? That I thought, well, I'll spiral through hell and set upon my lowest point? Is that what you think? Behind your mask? I see it in your eyes. It's in your tone. It's in your sneer. Why am I all you despise?
Like poison in my veins, this love for you is dangerous. I give everything, I do anything for you. Feel you